So this has to be one of the most commonly asked questions. Who is this girl? If you've been a long time subscriber, you've seen this girl many times in my videos. Now, who is she? Do I know her? Where was this filmed? Did I perhaps take her up on any offers? Well, the truth is this was filmed in Phuket, Patong Beach, and I think I've never talked to this girl. Maybe I did talk to her after I was done with filming, but I don't remember. But I definitely didn't take her up on any offers, and she was just a freelancer. I've seen her on the beach, I've seen her on Bangkok Road, and that's pretty much the end of the story. You might not notice, but many of my videos have to be censored one way or another. That's to play by YouTube's rules. Hate it or love it, it's a reality we have to accept. The uncensored videos and more bonus videos I regularly send out via email. I call it King Epic Insider. It's entirely free. You simply enter your email and get bonus videos, updates, and more. Simply check this link in the video description to head over to kingepic.com/insider. It takes 10 seconds and you never miss a thing. So feel free to pause the video now. Now here's another mystery girl that you've probably seen in many of my videos, and again, I haven't talked to this girl. This was actually filmed at an after hours club that used to be on Sukhumvit Road. It's been closed a long time ago, but anyway, she was one of, I think, 3 dancers that I saw there at that night of filming, and yeah, that's about it. Just a good shot, and I included it in many of my videos. And the last one of the quote-unquote mystery girls, or should we say lady boys? Yeah, I'm not sure, because somebody in the comments said that he actually knows her and that is a lady boy. I'm not sure. I remember when I was filming that's outside of Soi Cowboy, on the, not the main entrance, but on the other side, right next to Crazy House. And I remember filming that scene. It was just random. And like many of the scenes that I film, sometimes I film stuff I'm not even aware that it's a good shot, and then I look at it when I edit the video and I'm like, oh, that's quite good, and that's the reason why I've included it in so many videos. But supposedly she or he works in one of the go-go bars at Soi Cowboy. Now this scene I remember so vividly, and it might seem like it's staged or it was pre-planned or I paid them or told them what to do, but really, you know, I remember it so vividly. I was just sitting on the sidewalk, was some entrance of a business, and I was playing around with my camera, filming a little bit, and these 2 ladyboys walked past. They just stopped and they were playing, they were flirting with the camera, and it was kind of like this amazing scene that seems staged, but it was totally unscripted. That's the story behind it. Again, another one of those scenes that I vividly remember. I even remember specifically the shirt that was wearing, the jeans, and this was an after-hour club that used to be at Soi 11 in the underground parking. And I remember I walked in, I paid like 300 or something entrance fee, and the scene that you see here was me handing the girl the voucher to get a free drink. And I remember specifically she was handing me the drink and she was telling me, my sister, the girl next to her. But I'm like, okay, what do you mean, what should I do? But again, it's one of those shots that I've included in many of my videos. A prime example of a ladyboy and how ladyboys walk differently to regular girls, and how it's one of the signs that would tell you that you're actually dealing with a ladyboy. Perfect example here in this shot. And this was filmed during, I think it was a 2-week stay in Pattaya. I remember went out almost every single night, and you know, I remember parts of this, what I filmed here, but I just thought, you know, a lot of what I see in this video, I don't even remember. And begs the question, you know, if you have these amazing experiences, or you go out and maybe you drink a lot, but you don't remember it, what is actually the point of it, right? Kind of interesting to think about it, because it's almost as if it had never happened. And here are another few shots from that same time. I remember what's so great, it used to be great, it was still great, but you know, back then when I was going out in Pattaya, it was prior to COVID, but what was amazing was that you would just drink and you didn't need anybody else, or to be with friends, and there were so many, you know, clubs, bars, you could just hop from one to the other, and it was pretty much an unlimited amount of girls. And especially what you see kind of now, you know, after 2 a.m. or so. Really easy and really awesome to meet girls on the streets that just left their working place, or even some of them on the way home, and they would just, you know, go with you or do something else or go to another place. Really awesome. I also wanted to include this shot. It's me, one of my first nights in Thailand, going out and drinking, playing pool. And I just wanted to show it as an example that you don't really need friends, you know, to go to Thailand. Might be the case when you go to other countries, but in Thailand, I mean, there's so many options to go out and to drink and to meet girls that, you know, if you have problems going out alone, you know, by all means use alcohol, drink a little bit, but I'm telling you, don't let your friends stop you from going to Thailand. Go by yourself, you will have an absolute blast. Now this has to be an absolute world record, I think, for a proper hotel room, not a hostel, but an actual room. The room that you see here was less than $3 per night. Now granted, it was a special promo, and you might say, okay, that doesn't count, but again, I found this on Agoda. They had a promo and it was less than $3. Absolutely crazy. This is on Phuket, Rawai. It was Rawai Beach, I think. Yeah, and as you can see, there's a great pool. It was just, I think, 12 rooms or so, but I mean, absolutely incredible value. I've never found a place like this ever again. I think it's unrealistic. You wouldn't even get a hostel that cheap. Crazy. And here we see a shot from the Dermai underground bar, the Japanese underground bar that I've mentioned in so many of my videos, and probably at least 50% of the Bangkok nightlife videos that you see the girls standing outside here. And yeah, this place is usually packed. It used to be a back entrance where you could just sneak in and then sit down or talk to the girls without having to buy a drink, but these days back entrance is locked and you have to buy a drink, but you know, you can buy whatever you want, doesn't need to be alcohol, and then you can talk to the girls. And the good thing is that they vet the girls, so no ladyboys allowed inside. Japanese underground bar because mostly Japanese, Asian guys, but anybody can walk in there and get a girl or negotiate at the very least. Good example of what the streets in busy touristy areas in Thailand look like. This is Phuket, and sometimes you have to, you know, I personally would walk from one side to the other side of the street just to avoid these ladyboy massage girls or bar girls, or you know, lots of these girls standing on the street. They will grab you, they will talk to you, and at some point it gets annoying, especially if you have a hotel room right in that area and you walk outside or walk past them, you know, 4 or 5 times a day, and of course they don't remember you, and anytime you walk past them they say the same thing again. So this can get a little bit annoying, but this is what it looks like. Yeah, this was the first place that I've stayed at on my first ever visit to Phuket, the Marina Hotel Phuket, and at nighttime it was absolutely incredible. You know, the music, the light show, and I thought, you know, that's a place that I would definitely recommend for somebody who, you know, might bring a girl over or is traveling with a girl. At night you go to the pool is open until 10. Nice view, you can even see the beach, you can even see, I think from distance, Bangalore Road, but that place was incredible. Now granted, it's not cheap. I think it was around 40 or 50 bucks a night, but you know, still worth it. And it's not, you know, it's not very noisy because you still need to take the motorbike for around five minutes or so to get to Bangalore Road, to the busy areas. But as you can see here, awesome place. Now this is a place in Bangkok that probably most of the regular, you know, guys going to Bangkok, to the red light districts haven't seen. It's the other red light district, the Japanese red light district. Saladang is the BTS station, and it's filmed. That shot is filmed right from the BTS station downwards. It used to be very busy there. Nowadays it's not so busy anymore. But again, if you want to check out the Patpong, not Patong, but Patpong red light area, that is right next to Suitania. If you're ever in that area, then definitely worth walking around a little bit and exploring. The good old days of the soapy massage places in Bangkok. Now unfortunately, if you haven't been to Thailand in pre-2020 or so, you might never experience some of these places because many of them have been raided, have been closed. But I used to have this video where I showed the different massage places, those big giant buildings, Poseidon, Atari, Yeah, it was quite interesting because there were like dozens. I don't remember how many. Was it 100 girls or so sitting inside when I walked inside? And it's like at times you're the only customer. You walk inside and it's like 100 girls looking at you, and every girl is smiling and like, take me, take me. Yeah, it's quite the experience. This is also, the place where you would have a fishbowl where behind the glass, the girls would sit on sort of a stage and you can, pick a girl with a number. But yeah, those were the good times. Yeah, not Tari massage. I remember filming that video so vividly. Wow. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now this scene is filmed outside the Nana Hotel, the parking lot, and I would think, personally this is kind of like the shot or the specific area where it seems like the most hardcore in terms of like red light district, girls staying on the street. Now you might say, okay, this what looks fancier is Soy Cowboy, but it doesn't really look like that. It doesn't really have that quote unquote, red light district vibe in a way, where it's like, let's say there's a documentary that portrays the bad side about this whole scene, then this would be the shot where it's like, oh, these young girls are standing there on the street. Soy Cowboy seems more like, okay, it looks like fun, everybody's enjoying it, it looks very clean, and this is more like the rough part of it. Here's a shot where they used to have the street bars right outside the Sukhumvit MRT station, right next to the entrance. Lots of these bars, and I remember, at the Asok intersection, they actually used to have bars, not on the sidewalk, but actually, like, on the street. Used to be so many of them, but, in recent years, they got rid of many of them, and now you only have these small, street bars on the sidewalk, but there used to be so many of them. Many are gone now. Now this shot isn't special in terms of what you actually see, but I remember editing this video on a very, very specific day, and I remember exactly where I was. I was sitting at the, if any of you know, the Jasmine Hotel that is outside of Soy Cowboy, and there's like this small mall, and I was playing on my phone, and my friend online is texting me, have you heard about the king? And I'm, of course, like, he knows about my channel, so I'm thinking, what is he talking about King Epic? But that was the actual day of the passing of the former king of Thailand. And remember what the hell? And I immediately looked it up, saw it on the news. I think I took a motorbike taxi directly to the hospital where all the people were standing. And yeah, I still remember that they have all the video footage when I drove on the motorbike there. That was crazy that time. And I remember they shut down everything, like all the nightlife, immediately for the next few days. And I was just checking out the areas to see, what's going to happen next. It was kind of like, when they shut down all the places for COVID recently, or in the last 2 years or so. But it was in a heartbeat. There was like, no, like, this is going to happen. Crazy time, and it's kind of like something that once in a lifetime, that such a moment that you will never experience again. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But yeah, I saw that at a hospital, and I think there was a something at the temple the next day. I also went there, filmed everything. So many people, yeah. I also remember that shot walking around there. I think it was 2016, one of my very first videos where I talked about how I got started with Thailand. It was one of, I think it has to be one of first 5 videos on my YouTube channel, me talking about how I got started with Thailand, how a friend talked about it, then I went to Thailand. First trip was kind of horrible, I got sick. Second trip was amazing. Yeah, that was the video where I talked about all of this. I still remember it. And lastly, here you see a few shots from an Airbnb that I was staying at near the Petterbury MRT station. There's a pool, you will see it in a second. Yeah, the pool was amazing. But it was the only time ever that I got locked out of an Airbnb. For whatever reason, the card didn't work anymore, or they figured out that subletting via Airbnb is not allowed, and the management, they deactivated the card or whatever. But I remember there was another guy, a South Korean guy, who I didn't know, but he also rented through Airbnb, and his card stopped working as well. And that was like at 3 in the morning, and it was a little bit of a hassle. But eventually we got to the rooms. But yeah, that was the only time I had an issue with Airbnb.